Another day, another beach. Fort Myers Beach to be precise, and I'm standing right outside the Pink Shell Beach Hotel. We were here in 2005 with the kids, right before Hurricane Katrina made landfall. We left a couple of days before it hit land, but we haven't been back here since. It's really lovely to see this hotel. It looks exactly the same. Beach looks exactly the same, beautiful. We have a cloudy day today, but it's lovely and mild. So we're going to walk along Fort Myers Beach just to get some peace, fresh air, and a little bit of sunshine. It's definitely warmer here than it was up in Nokomis Beach. We have probably another half an hour or so drive south to where we'll be staying in Naples. So we're crossing our fingers that the weather will continue to be as warm as it is today. It's really lovely, really lovely. So we'll show you a little bit of the beach, but this is the Pink Shell Beach Hotel where we brought the kids 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, and they were little tiddlers at that point. So we'll continue to walk and I'll show you the beach. There's the Pink Shell Hotel. Right on the lovely white sandy beach. Seems to be low tide currently. That's Sanibel in the distance and Captiva, Sanibel and Captiva. We've been there before, it was just stunning. I think we might try and get back there again at some point. It's January the 18th and we are in Marco Island, on Marco Island Beach. Just probably 45-minute drive south of where we are staying now in Naples. The weather is definitely a shorts and t-shirt day for me today. It's probably about 70 degrees, so the flip-flops are out also. We have some unsettled weather moving in. In fact, we have a complete rain day tomorrow, so we are making the most of the day today. I've seen pictures and video of this beach on travel shows and house hunting shows, and always thought it looked quite a magical place, and it is. It's a beautiful beach. Again, another white sandy beach, plenty of shells. However, this beach it seems to be more of a destination beach, particularly perhaps in January. It's definitely a more organized beach. You can rent umbrellas and sunbeds. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people here. There are condos lining the beach which look beautiful, but it's very busy and we're only in January, so I can only imagine what it's like at the height of summer. But I'll take some video of this beach so you can see. But it's definitely busy, a lot of people. I don't know where they're all coming from, but there are a lot of people here. I can see in the distance there are boat tours, jet skis. They look to be fishing boats offshore also. But it's a beach, so how bad can it be? I've just seen a pelican fly past. I think I just saw what I believe is an osprey. There are fewer birds. I haven't seen so many seagulls or sandpipers, so that's interesting. But it's a great place, so I'll turn the camera around again and show you what it's like. So this is the beach at Marco Island. You can see all the organised and rentable sun loungers and umbrellas, and lots of condos and hotels, and they are lining the beach all along. I'm not quite sure where all this smoke is coming from. I was just sat on our beach chair and saw all of this smoke in the distance, which is being blown in this direction. I'm not quite sure what that's about. But again, quite a few people on this stretch of beach. Seems to be a fairly calm day on the water today. And as I say, it's beautiful. It's about 70 degrees, so definitely shorts and t-shirt day for me. We have come to the Collier County Freedom Park this morning. Apparently it's a nice nature walk. Quite a few miles of boardwalk apparently. It's right off of the main road. But it's a glorious day, very warm today, very humid. We have rain moving in overnight tonight, so we are going to take the opportunity and make the most of the day. So we'll do the nature walk this morning and then perhaps head to one of the beaches this afternoon. So we'll see what this is about. It's an absolutely beautiful memorial here that we were not expecting to see. It's lovely. I don't know if you can read that. Beautiful. Just walking along the sidewalk that runs parallel to the main road, and there are a lot of trees, a lot of vegetation on the right hand side of us. The walk that we are doing is a loop around quite a large lake. Lo and behold, I just glanced over to my right where the lake is and I see something on the bank. I'll show you. That's not a log on the bank. It's an alligator sunning himself. I don't know if I can get a bit closer and get a better view of him, but I wondered if it was a log, but no, it's a gator. Right in the middle of your picture. This is very picturesque considering we're so close to this main road. There's something in there, a little duck with a very bright orange beak going into the grasses. There's also a turtle out there. There he is. You can see the main road in the distance. It's very close. So we'll see what else we can find. They've built some very pretty viewing areas just off of the walking track. Surprised there are not more birds here though, fishing along those banks. Because we have seen quite a few fish in here. There's a big one just down here. That's going to be impossible to show you. Oh, maybe you can see it. No idea what that might be. Very peaceful. We just spotted a turtle there. Another large fish. Round about here, although difficult for me to see. It's so sunny. Well, that was definitely worth the trip. We spent maybe an hour there, walked 1.5 to 2 miles perhaps. Saw a gator, lizard, a few birds, not many birds actually, but it was very densely vegetated wetlands with a boardwalk that you can walk through. So I'm wondering if it was just so densely packed with plants that birds just cannot get down there to feed, but it was a lovely place to go and spend an hour or two. We're back at the Airbnb now, and it's a beautiful day. I mean, it really is. It's very warm. Our warmest day probably since we've been in Florida. Clear blue sky, and the Airbnb is just so sweet. I have to show you the outside. To see the kind of plants that are growing here in January is just a delight. So I'll turn the camera around and show you the Airbnb. There are 4 chalets, 2 attached, so we have 2 buildings, each with 2 different chalets. We're in this one with the 1100 above the window. But look at the plants. I mean, palm trees in your front garden. It's just glorious. I'm walking up to the front door. You walk underneath this pretty little arbor with deep, I don't know if you can see the colour, deep pink, reddish bougainvillea. Again, flowering in January. Goodness me. I have no idea what these are, but they all look incredibly healthy and very pretty. It's been very well planted for colour, and probably plants that don't need an awful lot of attention. Maybe some water every now and then. But look at this. It looks so healthy. This has got to be one of the most magnificent looking palm trees. Look at the condition of that. Fabulous. So this is the front door to our little chalet. That's the chalet behind us. And this is a communal area where you can sit and have tea, glass of wine, whatever you choose. Again, lovely plantings just continue all the way back down here. That's the seating area for the other chalet. And then down here we have a fire pit with Adirondack chairs. It's just lovely. Oh, a massive shed there too. That's where the beach equipment is. If you want to have chairs and umbrellas, that's stored in there for anybody's use, basically. Again, more palm trees. It's just fabulous. Anyway, I had to show you the outside. different. It was lovely and warm when we arrived a couple of hours ago. The sun has gone behind the clouds. There's a cold front moving in, bringing rain for us tonight, and 6 to 8 inches of snow back in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. So whilst we're happy to be here and missing that snow, it's definitely turning a little cool right now. It hasn't stopped us coming to the beach. There's always something fantastic to see here, and today was no exception. We've had pelicans flying horizontally to the beach, diving in right in front of us, and osprey did a very slow fly past earlier, also hunting, and it's just a really exceptional day to be at the beach. We're loving it. Nigel has taken himself off for a walk. I'm holding the fort, but I think we'll be getting back for a cup of tea very soon. I'll turn the camera around so you can see my view. Whilst it is cloudy, as I say, it's still a beautiful time to be at the beach. So I'll show you what my view is currently. Another beach this morning. We're on Estero Island. We had a storm roll through yesterday afternoon, so we did have some rain. Nothing major, but it has cooled the temperatures down somewhat today. So I'm actually wearing 2 sweatshirts. Not sure I really need them, but the air is cold, but the sun is lovely and warm. This beach is really not busy at all, and it's massive, huge beach. So we're going to take a walk along and see if we can find any nice shells or maybe shark teeth. It's always a good time to come to the beach when the storm has rolled through, so we'll see what we can find. There are so many shells on this beach. Layer upon layer. Quite a few people out here actually also. Quite a good stash going on so far. Impossible to find shark teeth too amongst this lot. Really impossible. Morning. It is Sunday 26th of January and we are now in Myrtle Beach. We arrived Thursday night after the big snowfall event a couple of days prior to that. They had about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 inches of snow here, which is highly unusual. So it's been cold. We haven't done a great deal. We've had a couple of days just at the condo. But it's still very pretty here, a little bit chilly, although it's lovely today. This is the first time that I've been down onto the beach. I will turn the camera around and show you shortly Myrtle Beach. We'll be visiting friends here, so this is probably the last video of this trip, unless something astounding happens that I'll show you, but likely not. But I will turn the camera around and show you Myrtle Beach. It's definitely has a different feel to it. It's still nice, it's the beach. In January there's barely anybody here, so I apologise for the sound as well. It's quite windy today, so I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I've just seen pelicans flying by, can't beat that. And from our condo, I'll show you that shortly too, we have seen dolphins swimming, and that never fails. Every time we've been to Myrtle Beach we have seen dolphins. Even in January, the water must be quite chilly for them, but even in January they are still around because the water just does not get cold enough for them to vacate the area. Anyway, turn the camera around and I will show you. The condo, this is the condo that we are staying in on the 14th floor. Has great views. Just to the side there's some construction going on. I don't know if this pier suffered some damage, but they are doing some major renovation. But you can see beyond the pier the condos all the way down into Myrtle Beach Centre. There's a Ferris wheel and a fun park down there too. You can just see that. Quite different to the coastline on the Gulf Coast of Florida where we just were. And during the height of summer, I believe it's something like 20 million tourists come to Myrtle Beach. The beaches are fabulous and massive. So you can imagine just how populated these beaches are. All the condos stretching all the way down to, up there is North Myrtle Beach, leading into North Carolina. But look at the beach, it's just huge. Not the best shelling, and I knew that. It's definitely not a beach known for shelling, but people do find shark teeth here. I'm not sure I will be searching this trip, just because I already have 6. I managed to find 6 when we were in Florida. And I just saw a pod of dolphins again, not 30 seconds ago. It's going to be impossible to capture that on my phone for you, but believe me, they are there. Great place. And back to, that's where our condo is. So, as I said, this is probably the last video from this trip. So I will leave you to enjoy your Sunday. Cheerio from Myrtle Beach.